Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast, Weight Loss Made Simple, episode 101. We are officially past 100 episodes. Can you believe it? It's kind of hard for me to believe, but I want to teach today. So we're going to pivot away from celebrating and we're going to go into full teaching mode today because I want to really start talking about my food freedom plan. And it's all about shifts, right? I told you that dramatic change can be scary for our brain and sometimes hard to stick with. But shifts, little shifts, right? We're just going to trick our brain into coming along for the ride. So, this entire plan is just all about making shifts. So, this fall, I want you to think about 3 shifts and we're going to go over them today. And I hope it's going to help you get through the season. I find that fall comes, like our schedule was like all of October was booked way back in June. Okay. So there are a lot of things, a lot of busyness that can start even before sort of the holiday season. And so think of this as setting the stage for your holiday season. Okay. So all diets have one thing in common, and that is rules, right? So do this, don't do this, measure this, don't, weigh that. If you follow the rules, you win. If you don't follow the rules, you lose. But as we know, life does not fall into like this beautiful set of rules, especially not around this time of year. So I preach all the time, life happens. We have to be ready for that. And I think this fall season, it's like life happens times 3, right? We've got football games, tailgates, Halloween candy, Thanksgiving, all of these things coming up. We can't just start in January. All right. We still have a lot of months to go. And so, even though this is kind of like the season of temptation, I want to introduce these 3 shifts that will really help with this idea of having some food freedom and just feeling more in control around food. So, the 3 biggest ones that I came up with to talk about today is number 1, we are going to go from willpower to understanding. And by understanding, I mean understanding our brain and our hormones a little bit. So, lots of times we're told just it's willpower, right? I'm not losing weight because I don't have enough willpower. I'm weak, I'm broken, I'm wrong because it's willpower, willpower, willpower. Just try harder. Just say no, just resist, be tougher, be stronger, right? No, we're going to let all of that go because our brain and our hormones are what drive hunger and cravings, right? And so it's not strength, it's understanding why our brain is putting that craving, why our hormones are telling us we're hungry, and then managing that. So it's not about toughness. It's not even about mental toughness. It's about mental shifting. Okay, so willpower to understanding. So I want to do just a really quick hormone reminder because I keep saying, brain and hormones. So I want you to sort of just come back up to speed with me. So quick hormone reminder, ghrelin, growl, all right, is our hunger hormone. That's what tells us when we're hungry, when to eat. If we don't sleep enough, guess what goes up? Ghrelin. Okay. And so when we're really, really tired, we're going to feel more hungry. Okay. Ghrelin can also be trained. All right. So if we always eat every day at 11, if we like eat at 9 or whatever, we're still going to maybe have that hunger feeling at 11 because ghrelin is kind of routine responsive. All right. So that's ghrelin. Growl goes up if we don't sleep, can kind of be trained, right? Can kind of train that lion. Leptin is the one that tells us we're full. So leptin is the one that says we've had enough, we can calm down, right? Lay down, leptin. If we eat sugar, too much sugar, sugar blunts leptin. It actually blocks leptin, okay? So if we eat a lot of sugar, our brain does not get the signal that we are full, that we have had enough. Okay, that sometimes you will feel this if you're like, oh yeah, okay. If you eat something really sweet, it feels like you didn't eat anything. You could eat 2,000 calories of sweet and your body will not necessarily feel like you've eaten. And this is why, because sugar has blocked leptin. Insulin is what controls our blood sugar. And when we have something really high in sugar or really highly processed, it will spike our insulin up, which drives our blood sugar low, and sometimes we'll overcorrect. Okay. And then our body's like, oh, well, we're too low now. We need to eat again. Okay. So this can be some of that, the spiking and the crashing and the feeling tired and sometimes feeling hungrier sooner than we think we should. Okay. This used to be me. I used to like every 2 hours, my body was like, yes, please, more. Okay. And they would be really intense cravings. And this is like my hunger hormones were just totally wrecked. The good thing is we can fix all of these things. They do not happen instantly, depending on how long they've kind of been out of whack, but we have the power to recalibrate these hunger hormones and get them to work for us and just work correctly. Okay. So instead of beating yourself up for willpower, if you notice like, hey, I'm hungrier sooner than I'm supposed to feel hungry, like I just ate, I shouldn't feel this hungry, don't like just ask yourself, like now that you know this, be like, what's going on for me? What's going on with my hormones right now? Did I skimp on my protein? Did something have sugar I wasn't aware of? Did I stay up too late last night, right? Scrolling TikTok, and now like are my ghrelins just high? So we can start asking ourselves some questions about our hormones instead of just saying like, I'm bad and wrong because I don't have willpower. Blech, we're not going to do that anymore. Okay. This is biology, not discipline. Okay. So biology, not discipline. So our first shift is going to be willpower to understanding. And that by understanding, we mean our brains and our hormones. Shift number two, restriction to abundance with structure. Okay. So restriction, those are all those rules, right? No carbs, no eating after 7. I don't know. Think of some other ones. Fast all day, eat air sandwiches, whatever the restriction is. Okay. Abundance with structure says we can enjoy foods, but let's put them in a framework that works for me, right? Let's plan ahead. So the secret weapon of your structure, this abundance with structure, is planning. So it's saying, I'm going to go to this party and I'm going to plan to have 2 drinks. Or I'm going to this party and I know they always have this one thing I like. So I'm like going to do whatever I'm going to do and I'm going to have that one thing and I'm going to like be really mindful when I eat it or whatever it is. So that is the structure I'm talking about. So I can eat what I want to eat. I just need to plan for it, be smart about it, and be like mindful. Okay. So that's the structure, is this planning mindfulness piece. So it's not about perfection, but it is about making decisions ahead of time when our brain is not tired or stressed or, all hijacked by good smells. Okay. So it is pumpkin season. Think of it as like the fence around the pumpkin patch. Okay. Your pumpkins can be all different sizes and they're all out there and we can choose them, and some are smaller and some are bigger and some are sweeter or whatever, but we still have a fence around it. Okay. So we don't just spill into chaos and go mindless when we're eating. So we might want to plan our protein first. Okay. We might want to plan 1 treat on purpose and be mindful instead of planning 3. We might want to plan a leftover day, okay, so that we don't eat out or grab something on the go. It's all about my safety nets, right? What are the fast food places in my area that have things that are on my protocol? Where can I get some grab and go items so that I don't like go face down into a pizza? Planning. That is how we can have abundance, because that planning piece is the structure that we need. The third shift is going from this all or nothing perfection to consistency and compassion, my 2 favorite words, right? So fall is full of moments where we get into this all or nothing, okay? Especially I find like Halloween candy. We'll do this all the time, right? So it's either I have no Halloween candy and I'm good, or I rebel and I have all the Halloween candy and now I'm bad and I ruined it and I have to start over and I fell off the wagon, or whatever we want to say. So it's this idea of like, I blew it, so like I'll try again next week, next month, next year. Okay. Our food freedom plan says, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to be consistent and we're going to be compassionate. So instead of saying, like, I can have no candy, maybe we go back to our like abundance with structure. Like, this is my favorite Halloween candy. I'm going to get my Halloween candy, like, and hide it until the last day. And then I'm going to let myself have one or two or three, but I'm going to be super mindful about it. Okay. And it means what's the next best choice, right? So that's the consistency is like, okay, well, I made a little error. What's the next best choice? And the compassion is, I made a little error. That's okay. I'm not bad, right? So if I plan for 3 pieces of candy and I have 4, that doesn't mean like I just then have 10 and say, forget it. I'll start again tomorrow. It's about, I'm human and I had a moment and now I'm going to, just make the next best choice and start. What's the next choice that I can do what I want to do the right thing, do the thing I had planned. So it's about these quick resets, these really compassionate, like, I'm human. Look, human brains make mistakes. We're not perfect. And so mistakes are going to happen. It's about how quickly we can get back on to being consistent. So that's where we're going from this all or nothing, like I have to be perfect, to consistent and compassionate. So that when life happens or our brain acts human, which has a tendency to do from time to time, that we just say, okay, like I had a moment. That's all right. It's not a big deal. I'm compassionate. And then it's like, I'm going to jump right back on. Like, what's the next best choice that I can make? And that's how we become consistent. So that's how we have like more days than not of doing what we planned. Okay. If you don't have that compassion piece, it's hard to be consistent. Okay. So, long-term weight loss win is consistent compassion. That's it. Like, we just got to bounce back faster. Okay? So, these are my 3 big shifts, and I think this really matters. Let me go over them again. All right. Number 1, we're going to go from willpower to understanding, right? Willpower goes to understanding our brains and our hormones. Number 2, we are going to go from restriction to this abundance with structure. Okay. And the key hallmark of that is planning. And then the third thing is going from this all or nothing perfection to consistency and compassion. Okay. And that's just about like, dust yourself off. We're human, not a big deal. Fall is literally all about comfort food. Okay. And I think gathering and like some more parties and more eating together, and it can get a little overwhelming, right? Like the pumpkin spice latte, it's time, right? Halloween candy, it's time. Pumpkin bread, all the things, chili, all the things. And so when we start to feel these diet rules sneak back in, just say no. Like, we're just going to make these little shifts and we're going to practice and we're going to be compassionate and we're going to be consistent. So I'll tell you, my structure, my abundance with structure, I get 1 pumpkin spice latte a year and I get 1 peppermint mocha, right? I love them. I get 1 a year. It has to be a really special moment, preferably when no one is around to bother me, and that's what I'm going to do, right? I actually have some good cheats for pumpkin spice latte that are really good that I will share with you. One is to use like a pumpkin protein drink and do that. Yum, yum. So good. Okay. Or a little pumpkin pie spice. Or really, sometimes it's just the cinnamon, to put a little cinnamon in your coffee. Okay. I have something really fun coming up that I really hope you'll join me for. I have run something called a Drop a Pumpkin Challenge for the last 3 years. So this will be year number 4 of the Pumpkin Challenge. And I think it's a great thing to do in October. I love to do it because, again, I think it can get really stressful and a little overwhelming. And so it's just about bringing this mindfulness piece back. And so instead of starting the holiday weight gain, we can just drop a little bit of weight, a little pumpkin, however much that little pumpkin weighs to you. That's what we try and do for the month of October. So I've always done this as just a challenge and we kind of mess around a little bit. But this year, I want to do it where there's a lot more accountability, and just to help us really jumpstart that consistency. So you're going to hear more about it in the upcoming weeks, but everything is going to be based on 31. So it's going to be a 31-day challenge for $31 where we're going to do 31 minutes of movement every day. We are going to plan 3 meals a week and do one 5K a week. And we're going to drink 31 ounces of water twice. So it's 62 ounces of water. We're going to do 31 times 2. And we're going to have just daily accountability in the Facebook group. It's going to be a private Facebook group. It's going to be so wonderful. I have so many fun prizes. I have actual medals for the 5Ks we're going to do. We're going to have so much fun. So if you are really looking for something for like just to get this whole season started off right with accountability, then make sure you check the website, www.sugarfreemd.com. It'll be /pumpkin is where you'll be able to do that. So go and sign up for the pumpkin challenge. It's such a fun challenge. And I love hearing, like, with this 1 month, people can really make a difference. I know lots of people like to do 3-day challenges or 5-day challenges, but I've had people lose 8 pounds in this challenge. And I just love that you can get that consistency and that accountability and really see a difference just to start your holiday off right. So again, let's go back to our 3 shifts that we are going to do. This is our food freedom plan. We are going to go from willpower to understanding our brain and our hormones. We're going to go from restriction to abundance with structure. And we are going to go from this all or nothing to consistency and compassion. And then if you want to start this kind of hardcore, ready to go, boot camp style accountability in October, then make sure you join my Drop a Pumpkin challenge. All right, everybody. I'm so thankful that you tuned in today. Please share with a friend if you think it's worth it. And other than that, I'll talk to you next week.